Hello again, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I thought we would do a bit of a hypothetical scenario. What if I lost all my 400 roses? What if the garden burned down and I lost everything? Which 10 roses would I instantly rebuy? Which 10 roses, if I could only get 10, which 10 roses would I instantly rebuy? And without further ado, let's get started. And one of the very first roses I would get is, of course, the lovely Princess Charlene de Monaco. And this probably doesn't come as a surprise for most of you. This is my highest rated rose to date. And it really has everything: frilled edges, beautiful color, unique storytelling, wonderful mango papaya fragrance, and a lot of other things going on, and very excellent health. So there's no doubt for me that if I had to start over, this would be the first rose I was looking to put in my shopping cart. And it is a rose I fully recommend people who love roses to get as one of the first roses. It is an amazing rose that really showcase to you why roses are amazing. Such a wonderful rose and well worth growing. And that was Princess Charlene de Monaco, a Milan rose. But let's continue. What is the next rose I would be seeking to get? And I have been debating on that one a bit more, but I actually think it would be a very easy rose to get in most places, and that is the Chandos Beauty Rose. Chandos Beauty Rose, such an amazing rose. Wonderful damask fragrant, about 8.5 damask fragrant. Wonderful kind of skin color tone to it that's very translucent, very hard to explain, and very big blooms. Also quite healthy. Can sometimes get a bit of black spot on the lower leaves, but honestly, it never overtakes the plant, and it is one of your best bets when it comes to a beautiful tea hybrid. This was definitely be one of the first roses I would be looking to get. Such an amazing rose, and I don't really think many people understand how amazing this cheap rose you can get in many places really is. It is a wonderful rose and one you should really be on the lookout for, both for that beauty and that fragrance. And I also think that the color combines really well with something like Princess Celine de Monaco, this pink apricot colors. But it is not as fruity on the scent as Princess Celine de Monaco. You get more of a damask on this one, but a really, really, really good rose. But let's continue here. And the next one, I nearly wanted to put this number 2, but it'll be number 3 for me. It is a Mom in a Million rose. And let's go down here and find it. Mom in a Million is such a wonderful Danish rose. It is also called the Gita Renaissance. Such a potent damask fragrance on this one of the most potent damask fragrances you can get in a rose. Honestly, it beats many of the historic roses on damask scent, and it has a 9 out of 10 scent. Really, really potent scent. So you can't go wrong with Mom in a Million. It does want to get a bit bigger, not like a crazy amount, but it does want to get to like 100 centimeters in height. But a wonderful rose, very healthy, very well, it is a decent rose all around. I think it does so much better than many other pink roses out there, and as long as you don't let it dry out for many weeks on end, where it can lose a bit of foliage, you're completely okay with this rose, and you get that extremely strong damask fragrance on this one. Such an amazing rose. That was Mom in a Million slash Gita Renaissance, also made by Paulson. And what would the next one be? Well, it will be a Dilbart rose, and it is probably no surprise to you that it will be a Chateau de Chevenier, if I can spell it right here. I have no idea if it's pronounced Chevenu or Chevenier. You will have to ask a French person for that. I had German in school, not French, we had to pick between the two, and I was lazy and picked German because that fit into my schedule at the time better. But yeah, you will have to ask the French how this rose is really pronounced. But it is a Dilbard rose, and it is such an amazing rose. I think mine has. It has been in continuous flower for so long. It started out very, very early, and even now, late in the season, there's like 20 to 30 flowers on it. It is completely covered in flowers. It is a bit slow to get going, but when it does get going, such an amazing rose. It might very well be my favorite yellow. I actually think it is these days. What makes it very unique is there's a bit of color change, like what you see on Julia Child rose, that more how to say, more yellow to more lime, or more a white yellow effect going on, and very, very healthy in foliage, and you get that lily of the valley scent to it. You get that wonderful spring flower scent to it. Really love that one, and definitely one I would be looking to get if I had to restart my garden. So yeah, and what is the next one? Well, it is getting tougher and tougher here when you only have 10 spots. I actually think my next one will be. Oh, I want to include a red rose. I'm just so much in doubt which one it should be, because Velvet fragrance will give me the most strong fragrance there is. Well, something like Mildred Shield, also known as Deep Secret 73, would give me a lot of flowers with still a very, very potent scent. And then you have something like Red Perfume de Provence that's kind of in the middle. Um, oh, it's so tough to choose. I actually think I'll go with Mildred Shield on this one, simply because Mildred Shield puts out so many flowers, and the scent is still really good on it. It gets beat by Velvet fragrance, and the fragrance is also different from Red Perfume de Provence, so you can't really replace those. This one is more damask scent oriented, while the other, like a Red Perfume de Provence, is more Gallica oriented. And well, fragrance is a very potent mix of a lot of things. But I think my fifth rose would be Mildred Shield. Really, really good rose, that one. And I think we should include a white rose also. For me, that will probably be Annapurna rose. I think I could also have gone with something like Margaret Merrill and a lot of the other very powerful scented whites. They're scented kind of similar. The only difference is bloom shape. But I think Annapurna has a more traditional bloom shape, and therefore I can use it with more different flower designs. So I'll probably go for Annapurna for that reason, if I could only pick one. And I'm kind of limited here. I want to get all of them, really. My real list would be like 50 plants probably, but I'm limited to 10 here. So, but let's continue. And Annapurna, of course, has a very good citrus scent, a very, very potent citrus scent. And we should probably also include a purple rose as our number 7. And that is actually a really tough one for me. Yeah, I think I'll go with. My thoughts right now is I know I would not go with Ludatio, because Ludatio isn't always as scented as pure poetry and always as scented as Alexandria Renaissance. So the battle for me, in my mind right now, is would I choose Alexandria Renaissance or would I choose pure poetry? And oh, that's such a tough one because they're not the same scent, and um, I think I would go with pure poetry, but it's only because I think that one has been in my garden a bit longer and it's doing really well for me. But pure poetry is one of those where you get a lot of different scents that can mix. You get some raspberry at the back end, then you get a bit of myrrh and tea at the front end. Such an amazing rose. It does have a weird habit though. Like first in the season, it makes one single bloom that gets really big, and then later in the season, it turns into kind of a. It goes from kind of being a tea hybrid to being a grandiflora, where you get these clusters of very large blooms, so like 2 to 3 on a cluster. So it has that weird habit, and I sometimes also find that when it goes into that grandiflora mode, it gets a bit more citrus fragrant. But I don't know if it's just me, but I have noticed that it changes a bit from early in the season to later in the season, and later in the season it turns more towards grandiflora. Um, but yeah, a wonderful rose. And oh, what should the next rose be? We are at what are we at now? Are we at 8? Or am I losing count here? I think I'm losing count. I actually think that the next rose should be a myrrh fragrant, a really pure myrrh fragrant rose. And there's 3 roses that really come to mind for me. There's Woolton Old Hall. There's Peter Paul Rubens, and what is the other one? There is the Lady Gardener. The Lady Gardener is myrrh with a bit of vanilla scent, while the Peter Paul Rubens is myrrh with a bit of orange scent. And something like Woolton Old Hall is just pure myrrh or aniseed, if you prefer to call it that. So I would be looking to get one of those 3. And which one would I go for? Which one is the most reliable, in my opinion? I actually think I would go for the Lady Gardener because I find the Lady Gardener is very healthy and it blooms a bit more than at least what I have currently noticed from the other 2. And it is also a really wonderful color I could combine with some of my Chandler's Beauty and my Princess Cellini Monaco and a lot of the other things that are going on. A really powerful myrrh and vanilla scent on that one. Honestly, fragrance wise, I want to put that one between 9 and 10, but I should probably wait with that until I'm done doing a rose review on it. But spoiler alert, that one is a very fragrant rose. A very, very fragrant rose. Probably one of the best Austin has produced, and yet he hasn't taken credit for it, and he hasn't mentioned it anywhere. I think he described it as a medium tea fragrance. I really have no idea how they could make such an amazing rose and not take credit for it. Like when you make like an extremely good and that happens so rarely. When you make an extremely good rose like that, you really want to take credit for it. But I don't really feel like Austin did that on that one. But yeah, a wonderful rose, the Lady Gardener. Such an amazing rose. But yeah, like I said before, like I could probably do top 30 list much better, but um, it is extremely hard limiting myself to 10. But I still think there's a lesson to be passed on here when we try to limit ourselves. So you guys get to know my true favorites. You get to hear my true favorites. Not just the roses I kind of like, or the roses I actually use myself. So, and the last spot, I think I'll need something that really flowers a lot, something that's just always pretty to look at. And there's three roses for that. The first one is, of course, Olivia Austin. Olivia Austin, such an amazing rose. Mine still has like 20 blooms on it, even here later in the season. Right now in my garden, what's looking really pretty is Chateau de Chevigny and Olivia Austin. Those two are looking really amazing right now. There's not a lot of fragrance on Olivia Austin, but what she doesn't give you in fragrance, she totally makes up for in health. Like, if there was one rose to survive the apocalypse of the modern roses, it might very well be an Olivia Austin. That one is really, really, really healthy. Of course, you also, on a side note, have Princess Anne if you prefer more of a darker color, more of a purple color with a beautiful color transition. Princess Anne is very, very good also. And you also have modern art, and you have what is the other one? Joy de Vive. Right now, Olivia Austin is the prettiest one in my garden. Joy de Vive has been extremely hardworking for such a young rose. Right now I'm really in love with Joy de Vive. Let's just have a look at Joy de Vive, or Cream Veranda, as it is also called. What I really like about it is this very, very, very nostalgic look it has. And then it just pushes out so many blooms you wouldn't believe, and it has perfect health. And honestly, I love that one. Not a lot of scent though. Of course, Bliss Perfumer is also a wonderful rose, but this one really captured my attention much more than Bliss Perfumer, simply for how healthy and how reblooming it was. But if forced to choose, well, it is the last spot. I think I would rule out modern art. I think I would rule out a lot of the other ones, like Julia Child. I've probably also rule out. It will be a fight between Joy de Vive and Olivia Austin. But Olivia Austin is simply indestructible, and even though I like the bloom look a tiny bit, well, I actually don't know if I like it a tiny bit more. Honestly, guys, I think I'll go with the safe choice here and just say Olivia Austin. But Joy de Vive is such an amazing rose. It is, in my opinion, one of the new ones that are really worth getting. Bliss Perfumer is also worth getting. It's just not, how to say it, as fragrant. It has a pleasant fragrance. It's just not as intense on the strength. It is no more than a 7, but it has a very pleasant fruity scent that's very deep, very complex. So yeah, but I think Olivia Austin would be the last spot I would take for that flower and reflowering. So, but yeah, there's so many roses, and for everyone on this list, I have like probably 4 roses that could replace it in use. So probably I could limit myself to 30 roses. Probably realistically more like 50, but I really tried to narrow it down to 10 here. The roses I have no doubt about whatsoever I will get was Shanna's Beauty, Princess Céline de Monaco, Mom in a Million, and also Chateau de Chevigny. There's so many wonderful roses out there, and those are probably the ones I would look to get first. But I also have some of those little curiosities I really hate to give up. Something like Boscobel, that wonderful exotic myrrh mixed fragrance, and I have velvet fragrance that really intense red rose with that intense fragrance. And there's so many roses I wouldn't like to give up because they're so important for me. But if really forced to choose, there's no doubt something like Princess Celine de Monaco would beat most of the other roses in my mind. But yeah, guys, take care out there, and hope you enjoyed me talking about roses.